video will show up, so it's cool.
That'll work. That'll work. That'll work. All right, let's get this thing. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the day 3 post draft coverage for day 3. That's going to be the discussion of the day today. Shout out to everybody in the chat box. Shout out to everybody. Day 3 draft. Have special guests today. Footsdaking will be joining us here, and we'll
What
get
up,
right
Joe?
into it. What's up, Foots? What's up, man? So day 3 in the bag. Lots of interesting picks to put it short. But Foots, what's your initial thought on day 3 action for the draft? Cowboys.
Well, Joe. Before I even go through that, I want to say your coverage. What's my homeboy's name that you covered the draft with? Y'all, I forget his name.
Cowboys Corner.
Cowboys. Yes, dude. Money, Joe. Between you, Vach, and the mothership, it was very little ESPN. And I don't think people understand that even though we do content, we're still fans of each other. So I just want to tell you on air that you knocked this out the park. Your takes were original. I think that you just did a great job, bro. I think you did not a great job, you did an amazing job. And I think that, fans really are in for a treat for tonight. Because I know we'll probably jump back on and do a whole grading. I think that we should come back when we're fresh. But I can honestly say, just talking about this draft, before we even get to our picks, I'll just give you an example. Me and Joe told folks on this channel, Marvin Wilson wouldn't go high, or Darius Washington wouldn't go high. Yeah. Neither one of those players got drafted.
Mm-hmm.
Did Wilson end up getting drafted? I don't want to speak too quickly. But yes, he did. He got undrafted free agent to the Browns. And I don't think our Darius Washington went at all. So
I think he went to the Ravens, undrafted. Yeah,
undrafted to the Ravens.
Yeah,
right. But it was one of those things. It was folks put him in the 3rd round. And it was just kind of me and Vach kind of were there to. Me and Joe. Vach had him high. That's all good. I know a lot of people did. A lot of people were turned on and loved our Darius Washington. But the truth of the matter is, this team and a lot of other teams are never going to draft a short, slow corner. Safety. It's just not going to happen. And once we saw the pro day, we knew that these teams are measurable freaks, right, Joe? That's what they are. And so, anyway, I know that's kind of long-winded, but that's what you get with dealing with a Joe Rod and a Foots. This isn't our first rodeo, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Isn't. Yeah. No, it is. We try to get fans prepared for it, with mock drafts and discussions like that. But, sometimes it's not enough to get through people. But we do have our loyal followers, and we do appreciate all you guys. I think a lot of our subscribers pretty much know what's up with whenever we talk about the draft. We never sugarcoat or blow fairy dust, unicorn dust up people's butts. So I do take pride in that. So, Foots.
I just want to say, Joe, you're not giving yourself enough credit. Joe does the work, guys, and that's why he's able to speak so confidently about just that, the work and what he was able to put out. So I want you guys really to understand that and just smash the like button, throw a super chat in there for Joe, because I don't think people understand how much work this is. It's easy to come and comment and complain, and because I'll be honest, Joe, there's been a lot of that crap, and I'm sick of it. There has been a lot of people who have, there have been a lot of people who have been supportive, and we are thankful for you guys. But I can't remember a year where there was more bitching and complaining. Excuse my language, Joe. And I'm just sick of it. I'm gonna say that on your channel, Joe, and I'm gonna say it on mine too. And if folks don't like it, I'm gonna block you. If you come on my channel with BS, I'm gonna block you, because the truth of the matter is we don't know what this draft is going to be. But because your cousin didn't get drafted or your favorite player didn't get drafted, you want to call this draft a piece of trash. Well, you know what? It's ridiculous. It is. So anyway, Joe, I'm thankful for the work that you put in all year, all off season, because this is not easy, people. It's not. It's honestly, the radio people have it easier than us. You want to know why? They have people actually editing. Me, Joe, Vach, Law. Imagine having to do the homework, do the research, then edit, spend time away from your family. Like, this stuff is not easy. So I just wanted to say that, like, guys, just be thankful that you have folks that are willing to cover the draft to this length that we do. Because I didn't have any of this growing up. So that's my rant, Joe. I'm sorry. I took up a lot of time.
No, man. Yeah, you hit everything on the head, bro. No, I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much. Everything you said is 100% the truth. You know what I mean? It is a lot of work. All of us content creators put in the work. You know what I mean? So it's a great time. You know what I mean? It was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun doing it, talking about the prospects and breaking everything down, doing mocks, getting the names out there, right? We didn't focus on a small grouping of names, you know what I mean? I think that's where a lot of fans get in trouble, where, you know, it's tunnel vision. I'm just hooked on Marvin Wilson, hooked on Ardarius. Forget about the other 300 prospects, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's a little bit of a challenge there, but
and that's not to say that's not a shot at anybody, because me and Joe do shows with Vach and Jeff. So those are my guys. I was on Vach's channel every night. It's not even it's a shot at really fans who are kind of ungrateful. Like, it's not a shot. I see the chat box. It's not a shot at all. I have the utmost respect for anybody doing content creation. I have the utmost respect for any fan. But don't come in when we have original thoughts. Do not come in and, oh yeah, you know, you guys don't know what you're talking about. This draft is a complete bust. Dude, these guys haven't even laced their cleats up. How are they a bust? We don't know what the plan is. And that's kind of like with the Jabril Cox pick. Everybody jumped off a cliff when the 2D lineman in the corner went yesterday. And I was just completely fed up, Joe. I'm not going to lie to you, Joe. Mm-hmm. I texted you about it. I was done. I'm just like, these fans they're killing me. Like, they were ready to throw the whole draft away, Joe. They were. Then boom, Jabril Cox is picked. It
really was. We're going to try to bring people off the cliff here tonight with today's discussion on day 3, and I think we'll be able to do it. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of good to come from this, and
a lot of good, Joe. A whole lot of good.
We'll get through a few super chats real quick here. Ivan Sanchez, the 2 MF goats, baby. Love y'all. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Ivan. I do appreciate that very much, brother. Do appreciate that very much. Skywalker still in the house. Foots is not here for it. Good stuff this weekend, fellas. Thank you very much, Sky. Appreciate you, bro. Likewise, bro.
Did Sky just jump in?
He's in the chat box.
Sky, that, bro. What up, homie? Listen, Sky's another one who I'm thankful for. Like, I'm gonna be out frontwards and say, I'll say this: Sky was one of the only people that I saw around Cowboys media that showed Micah Parsons the proper celebration he deserved. He was one of the only ones, and I know that has a little bit to do with him being from his hometown, but he deserved better than that. Like, this dude, like, he did. And I'll even admit, I was one of the first people to come out and say, you know what? I see why Dallas drafted Micah Parsons and they got the extra pick. But I should have given more of it. I was stunned because I wanted Slater. But what I wasn't gonna do is poop on Parsons.
Yeah.
Like, we've become so entitled as a fan base. If I don't get my guy, the draft sucks, and that's just BS. It's ridiculous.
It is. It is. It is. Hey, Lavelle with the super chat. Thank you, Joe, Mike, Foots, for all the hard work you put in. Much love and respect. Thank you. Thank you, Anthony. Appreciate you, bro. Always being a big supporter of the channel, of all of our channels. I do appreciate you, bro. Thank you, man. Thank you for that. That really does validate a lot of the work that we do. Jared, thank you very much there. We'll get through all that right there. So great commentary in the chat box. Eric Montoya. Thanks to you guys. Thank you, Eric. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, a lot of great comments in here. Thank you guys for really I
had to give you that shout out, Joe. I mean, you've been on this stuff. This is what you do. We're going on what, year 3, Joe, when we really hit it hard. And I don't know anybody who gets information and nuggets more than you. I'll tell you another one. I'm amped up. Let's talk day 3, Joe. Because I'm amped up. I got the juice today now. I got the juice. I'm ready to let fans have it. So if you come in here with the BS, I'm gonna give you a left hook. I'm just letting you know now.
The left hook. Heck yeah. Shout out to everybody in the chat box, man. We do appreciate y'all, everybody that's stopping on by. So Foots, the day 3, man. Actually, I mean, we kicked it off with Jabril Cox. You kind of touched on it earlier. So Jabril Cox, the LSU player, kind of fell a little bit. You know, there was Ian Rappaport mentioned there was something of a end of the year type of surgery on the shoulder, but that did not deter the Cowboys from taking him. But man, you have to like opening it up right after, you know, that final pick on day 2. But we'll revisit that a little bit later. But Jabril Cox puts a jack of all trades, and he can get it done for us. But what does this mean for the linebacker core when you add Micah and then you open up day 3 with Jabril Cox?
Man, I mean, when we talk about a player such as Jabril Cox, you talk about the Dallas Cowboys clearly have a plan in mind, and that plan is speed, play fast. Serious. Plan is we are going to fly to the football. That's what we're going to do. We're going to cover. Okay. We're going to be athletic. This team will not be athletic anymore. Those days are completely over, Joe. Those days are over, buddy. And I think you got me on video now, Joe.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, over. Nice.
Looking sharp.
Looking sharp. Yeah, let me go. All right. And so I think that was the plan, man. I think that, you know, more than anything, what Jabril Cox did was he turned a weakness, along pairing him with the Micah Parsons pick, he turned a weakness into a strength now. And I think that you know, Cowboys fans should be thankful because the D-line depth that you wanted, maybe they knew how the board was going to fall. Maybe they knew something that we did not know, Joe. That's the draft. You know, maybe they knew something. I didn't know anything about the shoulder.
Yeah, I want to dig more into that to see what it was, but you know, it was definitely not enough to deter it. So, yeah, you hit it on the head, Foots, with the speed. We definitely got a lot of speed guys, right? So, needed to get faster. We're a little bit too slow out there, getting exposed a lot, not only in the running game, but you know, chasing down players that you just didn't have any speed, catch up speed. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Not enough burst off the line. I mean, I've been saying this all weekend. We are turning the page on the Garrett guys. I mean, Van Dresch, Jalen Smith, they're all on notice. You know what I mean? We're done with the injury proneness. We're done with the unathletic. I mean, sorry, but you know, Jalen, it's just because of the injury, right? The change of direction, this sort of thing. But Micah Parsons gives you a lot of flex. Jabril Cox. I love what the Cowboys did today, Foots. I really do. But to open it up with Jabril Cox, that there was a steal of steals in the 3rd round. You know, he was being mocked anywhere from the 2nd round. You know what I mean? And to get him where we got him.
I think what you're saying, Joe, is what fans need to understand what a draft is. is piecing. You want to talk about starters? You got 3 starters today.
Yeah.
Because make no question, Jabril Cox is not Luke Gifford and these guys. He's just not. He's a better player, Joe.
Absolutely.
And I mean that's not a knock at Gifford, but he's just a better player.
Oh, to me it is.
Well, it's an upgrade, right, Joe?
It's definitely an upgrade. Gifford, he's injured, comes back one play, he's out. Like, get out of here with that stuff. I'm done with these guys if they can't stay on the field. You can't contribute that way. Joe Rugger, you guys killed it. Thank you, Joel. Do appreciate you. Thanks for stopping by and checking out our day 3 post coverage.
I had a 2-3 on Cox.
Yeah,
you get him in the 4th. And I said, you know what's so crazy about this draft? This draft is an A to me, and I don't care. Somebody on Twitter called me a brown noser. I blocked them. Somebody on Twitter said, "Foots, I can't believe you're trying to make sense of this draft." I blocked them. Like, I'm not gonna, because guess what? I said, this is stuff that me and Joe have said. I said double down on corner. They tripled down on corner.
Yeah.
We said this, Joe.
Yeah, we did. Corner, linebacker, we said it. They needed to come out of this with 2 corners, 2 linebackers, and sprinkle in some offensive play. They did exactly what we wanted to come out of this draft, because you have to project where this roster's going under McCarthy. He's trying to pull the weeds out. You've got weeds in the garden, right? Like soft guys. Get them the heck out of here and install your McCarthy guys. That's what this program is, year 2. This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody, you know.
I like what Joe, I can't pull it up because you're running this show, but and this is the good thing about, we can just talk, man, and be free with these fans. Because I think our content listeners, they really know. Marvel and Group said it best: a left hook and knockout to the Garrett guys. Boom. That's what this draft was. Yes, they have some character concerns. They do. You know what I mean? The tackle, that's a real thing. But we cannot play football anymore with choir boys, Joe. It hasn't worked. It's not going to work. Like, if getting character concern guys means that I'm gonna have a better football team and dogs on the field, well, I hate to say sign me up, but I don't want things out of control, but I do want good football players. Is Fat Man Boss? But he's a good football player. Is Micah Parsons? Did he have the incident in the locker room? But he's a damn good football player. Jabril Cox, the athlete. You know what I mean? The tackle. And then you double down. And in the corner, the last chance you got, folks were ready to throw him off a bridge. This kid can play, Joe. So, I mean, it's just, I like that comment, Joe. He has to clear the trash. So I'm not mad at it. I'm really not.
I like that. Izzy Prado says he told Foots a ghosting last night. Do appreciate that, Izzy. Another supporter of the channel. Shout out to 1980 in the house, bro.
What up, 1980? My homie met him at the draft 3 years ago. Great person, great content.
Yeah, great. Yeah, super dude right there. Foots, so you go to Jabril Cox, and then you turn around and you get possibly one of the more controversial picks of the draft with Josh Ball. What is your initial take on there? How, in your opinion, does he fit into this team? What are you trying to do here by drafting him in the 3rd?
Marshall tackle. Was it 3rd? Was it 3rd or 4th, Joe? 4th round.
Yeah.
Ball. Yeah. The rounds all run together, don't they? Ball, swing tackle ability. And starter ability. Yes. Joe, this kid can play.
He's a big lumbering guy, but he does have some
Morgan Moses-esque.
Yeah,
remember Morgan Moses from Washington?
Yeah, that's a good comp there. Similar size and things like that, like 313, 6'7". The measurables that the Cowboys like for their tackles. You know what I mean? And I think that's part of the reason why Rashawn Slater was not, at the end of the day, the Cowboys still stick to the measurables. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of it is 6 foot and up. They still like their tall tackles. If Slater was drafted, they would have made him a guard. I don't think they would have put him at tackle, right? So
no.
The thing that fans need to realize is that is still a thing here in Dallas. Safety early, not happening. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just what they are. You know what I mean? Our Darius Washington, he was never going to get drafted here.
Listen, I think you hit. And this is what I said. Marvel and Group is on it, man. He's posting. That's it right there, Joe. This dude is better. He's better than Terrence Steele. Like, what are we talking about? And I love the way that he answered and addressed his issues. People,
yeah, man,
I like Jared. That's why I said I hit Joe, guys, and I said I want to wait till. And Dan Quinn is talking right now. I'm sure he's giving nuggets. I wanted to wait till after Jerry's press conference because Jerry hit on the head. He said, "I'm never going to not forgive people. I believe we have the infrastructure. Has that gotten them in trouble? Yes, it has. Did it win them 3 Super Bowls with, I hate to say this, but Michael Irvin was on cocaine. And did he win Super Bowls? Yeah. I mean, like, that was probably a little harsh, but they had a lot going on in the 90s. Let's just say that. But they won football games, right?
To me, it's a good pick. To me, we were talking about this, Foots. We need to get an upgrade over Terrence Steele. Terrence Steele is still a developmental player. Yeah, he did look better at the end of the year, but can you get better there, Foots? I think you get better right now with Josh Ball here, right? So McCarthy said kind of sees him as a left. They'll start him there, which is fine. But then you bring him up. He might see snaps this year, and then Brandon Knight. I like him. Brandon Knight, Josh Ball. I mean, you have some pretty good swing tackles right there, right out the gate.
Yeah, he said you could tell that McCarthy you could tell by the way he spoke of Ball that he had a specific plan for him because he dropped a nugget on him trying to get to the 53 and then the 48, and I was okay,
yep,
this guy can play. This guy can play.
Yeah, he can play. And the thing about his off field, that it was, years ago. This isn't like it happened. Pretty recent. So, but it is, you can't really not pretend that it didn't happen, but you just have to hope that the off field can not happen anymore. I think if he stays clean off the field, you're in business. You know what I mean? This guy is clearly a mauler, doesn't give up sacks, plays with a lot of power. So, and you're going to need it. You're going to need him because, Tyron Smith will not play 17 games.
He will not play 17 games, Joe.
Yeah, and Lyle, that's still up in the air. The Lyle recovery, it just seems to be shrouded in mystery. They kind of ask about it, and then they kind of give the generic answer that they're on track. But we kind of heard that last year. Then he ended up, missing the whole season. So we'll see where they're at on that. There, that's a good pick there. But,
Joe, do you have Dan Quinn on in the background or no?
No.
Okay.
No.
I got him on the app. I'm so interested to see. I think this is the Dan Quinn draft, Joe. Do you?
He had some influence. I get kind of annoyed when the media ask them, "Is this Dan Quinn?" I mean, you got a head coach here, Mike McCarthy, and I know Jerry was annoyed by it too because Jerry was like, "Look, he's part of it, but this is Mike McCarthy's team still." So I'm sure he had his word in there, but McCarthy as well knows what he needs, what he wants to get out of his defense. You know what I mean? And what it has been here, what he inherited was not it. It was not it at all.
Yeah, that's a good point, Joe. He definitely is putting his imprint on the team.
Yeah.
Yeah. No more Princeton guys. No more.
Yeah, no more Boy Scouts, like 100% Boy Scouts. I mean, Randy Gregory kind of had some off-field, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, some of the players that we drafted today definitely would be disqualified, probably under Garrett. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
you do see a little bit of a change of philosophy. They went heavy defense, so it's it should be a shot over the bow. It definitely has to be putting some of these players on notice.
Yeah, absolutely, Joe. Absolutely. Yeah.
Let's talk about the other selection here. The wide receiver out of Stanford, Foots. In the 5th round, Simi Fehoko, 6'3", runs a 4.40. What do you think about that guy right there?
So that was, if you're talking about, I wouldn't say head. If you're talking about if there was a head scratcher, Here's the thing. Does he kick Noah Brown off a cliff? He can run. Sure hands. Not the best route runner, but he can move. And it's clear Dallas looked at team like they had a plan. Jerry Jones and Stevens said, creating they want a basketball team.
Yeah.
With all their picks, the athletic testing was through the roof for the most part.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they
mentioned Sean Wright, 6'4",
6'4",
4'3" guy.
Right. Yeah. The average of these guys, I think Jerry said it was like 6'3" and 3/4 or something like that. Like it is. It's a basketball team.
If you think about it, Joe, football's a game of inches, right?
Game of inches, indeed.
So when you think about the length of some of these players, I mean, Chauncey Golston, it's a big kid, man. Think about their trees out there, right, Joe?
Yeah.
And that's what you've hit it. The size threshold is real. We had some of these guys like Shy Smith on our board. I saw him hanging around for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I think Shy can play, but Dallas had a different. They had a different idea for a receiver. Is this a Michael Gallup replacement, Joe? Coming down the pipe here, if he could play.
Definitely. Shout out to RockDoc13. Thanks for the fresh outlook, guys. Becoming a bigger fan. Thank you, RockDoc. Thanks for checking us out tonight, man. Hope you're enjoying our content. Foots.
Somebody said no more Boise State draft. That's funny.
Dude, thank God, right? So for Simi, what I like from him, he comes out of a pro-style program out of Stanford. So comes out well prepared.
Absolutely.
From the coach over there. Although he doesn't have that much production, you're basing it off of the measurables and what he can do in this offense with Mike McCarthy. And when we say is he a replacement for Michael Gallup, we're not even talking about this year. We're talking about he's going to probably contribute this year, but Michael Gallup, the Cowboys are not going to they're not going to extend him.
No.
He's going to earn himself a pretty sizable contract. I think some people will be surprised how much Gallup will get paid in 2022 Foot. So with Fehoko, I like how you kind of protect yourself going into 2022. And can he push off Cedric Wilson or Noah Brown? I hope so. Or at least keep it churning. You know what I mean? These are Garrett holdovers. The ceiling has been reached already. With Fehoko, I think you have a high ceiling. You know what I mean? You have the traits to work with, and his potential is there.
Yeah, I completely agree. Special teams guy, that's how I'll probably get on the field. Run down, cover kicks. So it's interesting.
Yeah, that's a good point. They did mention that he's more of like a special teams ace. So he's gonna bounce somebody. Is it gonna be Aaron Parker, one of these fringe guys that's kind of in the mix? We always talk about, are they gonna carry 5 receivers, 6 receivers? So that's the conversation that'll come up in camp. You know what I mean? But I think Simi Fehoko will be big in that rotation. I think you're not gonna draft them here just to not make the team. You know, they're looking to continue to purge this roster. And
the Cowboys had an issue on defense, and they addressed it.
Yeah.
You can't say that they didn't. I wanted a safety. Joe wanted a safety.
Yeah.
Dallas didn't draft a safety.
And the average of drafting the safety has been 5.2. So like right around where they started taking some of these guys, and we'll get it to here in a minute, is what they keep doing. You know what I mean? But Foots, after they drafted the wide receiver, they returned back to defense, and they get the big behemoth, Quentin Bohanna out of Kentucky, Kelvin Joseph's teammate, right?
Did you see his tweet when they tweeted each other?
Yeah. You like to see that kind of thing, but man, this is a big dude, right? 6'4", 327 or so. You know, your traditional nose tackle, one tech, 2 gap eating monstrosity. I love it, Foots. I love it. I mean, he should have a pretty good shot at making this team because you don't have another player of this size.
You got your one tech, and this team historically has not taken one step, and I'm glad they didn't. Barmore fell. People were crying about that. You should have drafted Barmore. Why? The rest of the league hasn't. Why would Dallas be the team to take a flyer on the team? And I heard, and I've been hearing that he had character issues. Needed to have his hand held and wasn't always hungry. And I think that showed on film. Barmore's film wasn't flawless. It was good towards the end of the year. It wasn't flawless, and he didn't play well on rundowns. You go get this, listen, Dallas, I'm telling you, like, people are gonna be Joe. I'm laughing at a lot of fans. Dallas's D-line is going to be sneaky good next year. Because if nothing else, you're throwing so many numbers at these positions. Like, dog, one of these guys can play. Like Osa, Tristan Hill, Neville. All right. I mean, like, what are we doing, Joe? Bohanna. Like, Antoine Woods, bye. Like, it's over. You're throwing pieces. Golston has position flex, Joe.
Exactly.
Decide on downs. And then you still have your studs on the outside with Randy Gregory, and DeMarcus Lawrence. You're deep. You are deep on the D-line. Like, I don't know why fans can't understand that. You're throwing numbers at a position. So though you did not get, first of all, this defensive tackle class didn't stretch well.
Yeah.
Milton Williams got snubbed before us.
Very early. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I thought he would have been the pick for sure, but he got snubbed. He's a good player. It happens. It's the draft. But
he got snatched up quick.
He got snatched up, Joe. I mean, it's the draft. Like, teams do research too, guys. Because that was my guy, but he got snatched. And Dallas didn't panic. I don't think Dallas panicked. I really don't. And so, like I said, Osa, now, we talk about Ohana, man. I like him, Joe. I do. I like him. If for nothing else, he actually has some quickness. But in this game, we know what he'll be asked to do.
Yeah, for me, this probably does push off Davis, the free agent they got from Texas. I kind of just saw him as a camp body. I mean, you bring in Bohanna now, and you want to keep these linebackers clean, right? They've too many times. These behemoth guards have been getting to the second level, the centers. Mm-hmm. That doesn't help this linebacker crew either. And they're a little bit injury prone, LVE, getting knocked around by these gigantic guards. Doesn't help. You know what I mean? And Jalen Smith, like we've been saying that. Well, I've been saying that he has that in the back of his head. He doesn't want to, take a wrong step and blow that knee out again. So I like how they upgraded the linebackers. Day 3 for me. Obviously it's not the names that a lot of people were doing in their mock simulator. That's the other thing too. People get stuck on the retreads, the same names. And when they see these guys, who is this guy? Man, this is trash. Like, man.
Who's this corner from Oregon State? He can't play football. No. He stinks. Okay.
Yeah, so that one, yes.
I trust, listen, that was the one. I think that was the one, Joe. I know we're doing day 3, but I think me and you haven't had a chance to talk on we haven't had a chance to talk online about this. And one thing I love about you, Joe, is you probably are one of the only people who aren't going to do this. You're going to hear it now from people all over, so just get ready. Oh, but you had what's his name on the board? Who gives a shit? Like, stop with that. You had this person on the board. Because guess what? Those people on the board weren't flawless. Like, Paulson Adebo is somebody who I love. Paulson Adebo has flaws. He doesn't play the ball well all the time in the air. There's a lot of film of him being in position and not making a play on the ball. Like, this guy is basically Paulson Adebo, but faster. What are we doing? But what happens is because it wasn't your guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're gonna see this all the time. I would have went, what's his name, because he was still on the board. Who cares? If you did the work, this was a draft like no other. Right, Joe? It was. Yeah. We didn't have the same amount of information. That means, guess what? Joe? Folks are going to be folks are going to be coming from left field that we didn't know about. You know what I mean? These guys weren't all in the same place at the same time.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
And I'm not saying every pick was an A+ pick. Like I said, the head scratcher, I would have went safety probably over the receiver. I don't know if I would have went Osa, but I see why Dallas did. But I actually like the corner. Like I like the corner. I probably wouldn't have went the UCLA player, but I like the corner and I do like the Iowa defender as well. I do.
Yeah.
And then you got your cherry on top because you knocked it out the park with Jabril Cox. Like, I trust my eyes on Jabril Cox. A shoulder or whatever the reason why he was falling is not. I believe, Joe, that Cox fell because teams didn't have enough tape on him. That's all it was. Just the 1 year of high level play. Other than that, he's a North Dakota State linebacker. So teams didn't have enough film on him.
It's a solid draft class at the end of the day.
He's better than some of these guys. Pete Warner, seriously? Yes. Jabril Cox is better than some of those guys that went before him.
Yeah, he could have gone in the second for sure. I think that's the biggest steal for this draft class was Jabril Cox. You know, we always talk about some of these linebackers that unable to cover Jalen Smith and you know that kind of thing. So Jabril Cox can do that. He can cover the running back out of the backfield, the tight end. You know what I mean? He's a pretty solid tackler. He's not a perfect prospect, but I mean, for getting him where you're getting him, that's great value, tremendous value, and athletic to boot. So you got to love that, Foots. After Quentin Bohanna, they went with Israel Mukuramu, right?
Hey, Joe, can you put – hey, Joe, we just doing our thing tonight, right? We not staying on topic. Yeah. Joe, can you put the – I love – I love this comment. Hey, your chat box is turned up. I like these are the fans I want to talk to. Can you put the Aquarius McClinton's comment
right there?
No, this one. 31st allowed 400 rushing yards.
Is that the one?
Yeah, we fixing that. Talking about we fixing that shit. Talking about we fixing the run defense. Like, that's what I like. I feel like, dog, our run defense sucked last year. Like, what do we like? You know what I mean? Like, we fixing this defense. Like, that's what you know what I'm saying. What was our the Aquarius? What was our run defense last year, Joe? It couldn't have been good.
It had to be at the very bottom. I think the Aquarius is saying 31st. It's got to be right there. There with probably them and the Texans or whoever the heck it was, but. It was terrible.
People are mad that we drafted a D tackle, Joe.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
They wanted to save me.
Yeah, we talked about this. Probably is going to be a heavy defensive draft, and they go out and get all these guys. And there's still some people that they didn't want it, I guess. But you can't get stuck on the names. That's the thing. I mean, that's really what I'm going to try to hone in again next year is don't get stuck on the names.
You do, Joe.
You know what I mean?
Seriousness. I needed that laugh, y'all. In all seriousness, Joe. Joe said it all. Listen, Cap Mode has said it all season. Don't get married to who you want. I'm telling you. Like, it happened with Pitts, y'all. And that's why you guys treated Parsons like trash. Just be honest. You guys, there were fans out there. People really thought we were going to get Kyle Pitts. Like, if you guys are following us, that would have never even been a thought.
Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't really a narrative we were about. I mean, it was fun to play with, but it was just something that was not going to happen. And then finally, as we got closer to the draft, I think more people finally woke up and got hip to Horn and Surtain. But the way the draft happens, we got wiped out there. Trading back was a smart thing to do. You rip off the Eagles, you get Parsons, you get the third round pick. I love that, dude. I was laughing all the way home for that one there.
To the bank. All right, I'm sorry, Joe. Let's get to these players, man. I'm enjoying myself because it's over. This is me and Joe have spent months literally covering this stuff, and I'm just gonna keep harping on like, man, like just let it marinate, guys. If these guys come in and are studs and our defense is top 10 next year, who's gonna be looking at, oh man, they drafted him after? Like, nobody's gonna care about that. It doesn't matter. You got who you got to build your team. These teams don't have Dan Quinn. So if they picked, Richie Grant, if they don't have a plan, he's gonna stink. It happens all the time. I remember the safety from Delaware. I don't even know if he's still in the league or if he's a starter. Everybody wanted that safety. a couple years ago. It happens all the time. Everybody wanted McKinney. McKinney's not playing bad for the Giants, but I guess my point is like even I wanted a safety, but it's clear Dallas believes they want to build the middle of the defense. That's what I took away from this draft. The middle of that defense is going to be better and faster and nice. D tackle on back linebacker play with adding Keanu Neal will not be soft and just like you said, boys. We won't be pushovers anymore. Like that's over, and I love it.
Yeah, definitely can't be pushovers anymore where people can just literally not even throw the ball on you and convert first downs by running the ball. I mean, there was too many games last year where they didn't have to throw the ball. You could run all day on the Cowboys and they couldn't overcome it. You know, that 40 burger was not enough to overcome a crappy defense. You know what I mean? Let's do 50 burger.
Giving up 50, right? Yeah.
They want to do 50 burger this year. Well, dude, like it just wasn't realistic. But yeah, man, I like Israel. I think they mentioned
that's a goal. Yeah,
that they're gonna do. They're not, Jerry. They said that they were gonna make him the safety. They want to look at him as safety, right? So you like those measurables for that player there, Foots?
I think they like the pass defense, Joe.
Yeah, great ball skills.
15 pass defense last year. Now he's the one that isn't. What was his 40 time, Joe? Do you know? Let me look and see if I can find it. I don't know if he was the fleetest of foot, but they just said that he has. They said they liked his instincts. They said he had really, really good instincts.
Brad Cannon, great coverage of the draft this year. What do you think of all these UDF receivers Cowboys picking up? I'm just not big on the undrafted free agent guys. That's another thing that people like get kind of caught up on. Foots is like the undrafted guys.
I'm not doing that.
Don't get caught up on those guys because it's similar to the draft guys. You know what I mean? Like they didn't get drafted for a reason. I mean, yeah, you might hit on a gem, but it's kind of rare. You know what I mean? So, I mean, for me, I'll get to those guys later, but that's not even a priority for me, Brad. But appreciate you. Checking out the
Brad Cannon. Yeah, much love, guys. Yeah. I mean, I'm with Joe. I got so much work to do on these prospects. And honestly, that's the fun thing about it. Like, as content creators, we'll still have work for you guys moving forward. And then, he's full steam ahead with there being fans in the stadium. So I'm pretty sure that we'll be on par for a mini camp, Joe. And all of that stuff. So it'll be status quo, guys, which is good. I mean, we've been playing youth football, so I don't see this is my team, y'all. We won today. We're playing up and we're dominating. So it's been a great day for me. When I saw the Jabril Cox pick, I did a backflip on the field. I was so excited. I put out a video immediately. And me and Joe, like there will be content for you guys. This is our time of year because really and truthfully, this is how you build a team through the draft. But back to the Israel pick, Joe, I just think that's where Dallas is with safeties, and the Dallas Cowboys will always be my team. So that's just what it is. I will always hammer the table for them to try to get a ball hawk and try to get a player that actually plays safety. But it's clear with the work that Dallas had to do on the defensive side of the ball, they didn't value that position enough.
Yeah. And it really is. It's they've only taken a wide receiver in the first round one time since 1960. It was Roy Williams. So this is a deeply rooted philosophy for safety. It's not even with Garrett Parcells. I mean, it's just something that is deeply rooted in there, and it is what it is. So we'll see. We'll see how safety works out this year. Maybe if it becomes a luxury, because I feel like safety for these guys would be more of a luxury. If they get these things fixed on the front, your linebackers, your two corners are taken care of, maybe next year they finally do it. But I wouldn't hold my breath. So
aren't you glad we didn't? Hey, fans, some people are talking about, Jamal Adams. Aren't you glad we didn't make that move? You wouldn't have been happy.
Yeah, the Seahawks had 3 picks the whole draft.
Yeah.
So that hurt, man. All the talent passed you by.
Listen, you talk about, anxiety. Imagine just not picking. And your defense, he didn't really improve your defense. I mean, they weren't that good. Yeah, they weren't that good.
Yeah, not good there on defense, but throwing bodies at it and players that have their niche. We're looking for role players. Players that can come in here and push off some of the old regime players. I think you're getting that. We talked about Woods. We're talking about Dorrance. So now little by little, and I think this was the biggest of it all. I think you really do turn the page here on the defense here. You set yourself up to be better than last year. You know what I mean? Like if you could play a game right now, and this defense will play a whole hell of a lot better than they did last year. You got Dan Quinn now as your DC, new fresh blood in here, mixed in with some good vets. But there will be the guys that finally, this will be their last year as a Cowboy on defense.
Yeah, I think this doesn't look good for Leighton Vander Esch. Now, the truth is, Leighton could come in because you do only have Keanu Neal for 1 year. You just signed a 1 year deal. So between Leighton and Keanu Neal, you could have Leighton play well, and he get a deal on the cheap. But I think this is telling you that the Cowboys they're not sold on Leighton Vander Esch. They're definitely not sold on Jalen Smith in the long term. I think the story was great, but I wouldn't be surprised if that story ended in training camp. Just because you're gonna look at training camp and you're gonna see Michael Parsons flying around, you're just gonna say, "Why do I need Jalen Smith again?" And that's the decision that what would the cap hit be, Joe? It would be.
If you do a post-June cut,
yeah,
I think you can absorb it a little bit better. You know what I mean? So that's why that's being talked about. Now for LVE, when it comes back to the cap and this and that, we know how this team is. Do they want to pay 9 point whatever it is for a linebacker who's always hurt? You know what I mean? So honestly, I don't think they're going to pick it up. We saw today as teams were making their picks, they started coming in. Some of these teams were picking up 5th-year options. You saw it on the ticker. So-and-so signed a 5th-year option. So-and-so, not for Cowboys. And the decision is due by Monday. So
Dallas isn't picking up LVs. Yeah, when you heard Steven, all right, this should tell you all you need to know. Steven says something like, well, we haven't even talked about it. We've been so focused on the draft. Trust me, if you were picking up his 5th-year option, they would have unfocused on that draft for a second, got it done.
They talked about it.
Yeah.
Steven,
he's not as good as BSing as his dad. Jerry can BS you. Steven, he's more like of a straight shooter, so he's going to give you the truth. And when he tries to lie, it just doesn't come over well. So, Steven, just tell the truth. The truth is, you drafted Jabril Cox. You drafted Micah Parsons. Those are probably going to be your future linebackers. So, with another guy sprinkled in. So, just get ready. It's a dog-eat-dog world. As quickly as we love Jalen Smith, as quickly as he's going to be on his way out of here. It's just the truth.
It's the truth. In 2016 seems like a long time ago already. You know what I mean? So they tried it. It was a good story. But where we're at right now, it's just not working for the defense. Where we want a championship defense. And I'm not one of the guys that's like, we can have a badass offense and have a kind of middle-of-the-road defense. I don't want a middle-of-the-road defense. I want a dominating, ass-kicking defense.
There you go, Joe. I mean? Talk that talk, Joe. I'm with you, bro.
Why do people want to settle on middle of the road? You know what I'm saying? I'm not a part. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that.
That philosophy is what got us at 6-10 last year because Andrew, hate to say it, but something could happen.
Yeah. Let's make the defense badass, man. I'm all for it. Like, let's keep doing it, and then don't stop this year. You know what I mean? Invest again next year, and just keep it going, man. Foots, the last pick in this draft. Let's talk about this guy right here, and we won't go too much long here. The guard, right? So they got the guard from the Big Ten, Mac Forniak, out of Nebraska. What's your thought on him?
Camp body, could possibly come in and challenge. Joe plays with strength. Any Big Ten lineman, sign me up. I honestly don't know enough about the player, so I'm not going to come on here
Yeah.
Front run like I do. Because we study a lot of these guys, but we just don't have access to some of the resources of the mainstream guys. So, Joe, I don't know. I'll throw you back the ball because I really don't know enough about the player. Whenever I see a Big Ten lineman drafted by this team, I'm like, okay, he'll come in and compete. Just kind of like Connor McGovern did. Connor McGovern I think he's going to be a player, Joe. I actually like him better than Connor Williams. So
that's the other part of it too, right? Connor Williams is in a contract year, so you got Connor Williams in a contract year. You have LVE in a contract year. If they're going to keep one of those guys, it won't be LVE. It'll be Connor Williams, if anything. But even he is probably not going to be affordable to the Cowboys. They're just going to slide in, Connor McGovern into that left guard.
Yeah, I agree, Joe. And I think that, I think, what was McGovern, a second-round pick, third-round pick?
McGovern was a third.
It's time for him to play. Yeah, it's time for him to play.
Blinking light.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that was. But you know what? I think he's played with more power than Williams. I do.
Yeah.
Last year, McGovern showed me some nice things.
I thought he filled in really good when he got some time in there. So I feel good about that. He gives you some center flex. So for the rookie that we drafted today, I think he could be a camp body, but hopefully he can, push off some of these other guys that are kind of hanging around there and maybe make a spot for the practice squad. So that's always an option for some of these fringe players that, you draft in the 6th and 7th round where you don't want to fight for them in free agency. So you use a pick on them, right? So these guys that we drafted here towards the end, that's kind of what it is, see if they can give you something on your roster. And if you want to keep them for your practice squad, you know what I mean? There's no guarantee that these guys will make the team. You look at Israel and the other one there, Fournier, and they're going to have to earn that star. You know what I mean? They've still got to earn that star. So not crowning any of these players by any means, but I think defensively, they're definitely going in the right direction. They could have easily had a disastrous draft, but I think they did. They did good. They did good work here.
I agree. And Joe, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I saw it in the chat box, and this is a good one. Joe, I know we can wrap up, Joe, because I'm tired, man. This is our graduation, guys. This is it until next year. Joe, I want to ask you something. Who's the D tackle that's left out of these young guys? And who's the DN that's left out?
It's going to be Davis for me, the free agent that we got. That's more. I saw him as a camp body from the get-go. So if you can't push him out, then you don't deserve to make the team. So that's a guy, when you see him brought in here in free agency, the Cowboys do what they do. They're going to go, bargain bin hunting. And that's what Davis was from the Texans. So we need somebody to push him off. I think Antoine Woods will probably still be in the mix. Urban, I think Urban is going to be a good piece too. He has like a high upper percentile for run defense. Definitely need that, right? For defensive end, who could be on the out?
Dorrance.
I think Dorrance, Bradley, and I, these guys, we'll see.
I want to give a 9 a chance, but I see what you mean with a 9. He's not a position fit here.
He's gonna have to show it, man. He's gonna have to show it. So Golston to me is has a good spot for him. As a 3rd round.
Well, Golston is the truth is Golston is a 4-3 defensive end. Bradley and I is not.
Yeah, he's gonna have to find his niche somewhere.
Outside linebacker,
special teams or make a splash in camp preseason. Preseason is gonna be huge for some of the fringe players. Like you can't come out here be hurt. These kinds of things because you won't make the team.
No, you won't. I think the problem with a 9 is that his size measurable doesn't meet what Quinn wants, and the twitch doesn't either. And I was just kind of like a try hard guy, which we loved because we covered him at the Senior Bowl. I do like Bradley and I just think that the situation isn't in his favor because really and truthfully, this situation is, these coaches love their guys, man. They do. And Dan Quinn is starting fresh here. I think Dan Quinn will be in the plans for a while. And I think the thing about Quinn is he has his guys here. Kazee, Neil, with this draft class, Dan Quinn is like, I'm good. Now watch me cook. And Dan Quinn has the skills on the wall to be able to do that. I think Mike McCarthy said, I'm good with this offense. Another year, we'll be fine. Dan, we're going to give you every resource that you need to make this defense formidable. Not even good, but it's like my man said with that beautiful comment, like, dog, like, the Aquarius, I got to give you another shout out. Like, dog, we fixing that. Like, our defense is trash running the ball. And that was my argument with everybody wanting to pick Waddle and all this. Like, dog, like, are you dumb? Like, you're not going to beat – the plan of trying to beat teams 40-0 is dumb. Like, that's dumb. That's dumb. It's not smart. It's idiotic. That's not sustainable. You're literally you're telling your offense to go out there and be perfect. They're going to have off games. Defense travels. So,
anyway, Joe, that's the thing. Yeah, defense does travel, and that's what we need. Our defense didn't travel at home or on the road. So, you know what I mean? Phil, he's starting to build his new Legion. Phil Jr. Yeah, I agree. It's definitely something. It's good to inherit. You know, if you're getting your new DC in here, give him the groceries. So I think you're off to a good start. The Lunatic, loyal subscriber, member of the channel. Thank you so much. Competition equals upgrades. Now go get number 6. Dallas Cowboys for life. Well said.
I think that's a very underrated point too. Good stuff, the Lunatic. Competition. You see what's happening in Green Bay. Now, this is my theory, Joe. You can let me know. I know we're getting off the rails here, but it's all good. Joe.
Yeah.
These players, I'm telling you, competition creates gems. It creates like a diamond. When you bring in good players, other players are like, oh, shoot, he plays my position. I better get on my ish. I better, you know what I'm saying? I better, there's 3 corners here now, Anthony Brown. There's 3 corners here. Trevon Diggs. We haven't talked about it enough, but like as good as Trevon Diggs is, off the field, yeah, we don't know. I mean, that one incident, we like Trevon Diggs moving forward, but you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna draft 3 corners. We're gonna have depth. Because that's what good teams do. I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you. If Kelvin Joseph is clean off the field, he's a better prospect than Trevon Diggs. That makes sense. And you have that now with Trevon Diggs. And Trevon Diggs has shown that he can play in this league. But Kelvin Joseph, his hips and his ability to stay in phase, I'm going to talk about this on my wrap-up video. Kelvin Joseph is a first-round player with the off-the-field and the character concern pushing him to the second. That's all it was. But Kelvin Joseph has first-round ability, Joe. And I wasn't even, like, I guess there, because I don't want to be a Benedict. I don't want to be like a waffler. I told you I wasn't as high on Kelvin Joseph as I was on Horn and Surtain. I wasn't even close. When I heard him mention in that group and Greg Newsome, because he's not as good as those players. But that doesn't mean he's not a first-round corner. And so, like, but I always said he's Janoris Jenkins. Janoris Jenkins in his prime was really good. That's why he's still in the league. So
you definitely get dog out of him, out of Parsons, out of Golston. So you're getting players in here that are it's like a culture change. We've been saying that for a while here, and you get that with Parsons, Kelvin Joseph. And even someone like a Jordan Lewis, he has dog in him, but he can't do it alone. So you get some young cats and young dogs in here, and you're gonna see this defense turn around this year. I'm pretty confident in that, Foots. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, Joe. And again, Joe, man, just thank you for your work, bro. I know this is your show, but I just got to tell you, thank you, man. You the GOAT. You guys pushed me to be better, man. It's gonna be fun.
Oh shoot! Likewise, bro. I mean, you know how we do it around here, Foots. We go deep diving on these prospects. We don't ever sugarcoat anything, and it's not for everybody, but for everybody that is here, that's why you're here, because we give you the straight, the up and up. We don't we don't blow fairy dust up people's butts around here. So
not with this team.
Yeah, is what it is. The 94 is Quinn said he's incorporating things that he has learned, so it won't be the same defense as in the past. That's always good. You got to stay up and up with the current offenses that are in the league now, and I think you get that with the players here. And I think they acknowledge that in the press conference that you have to be more athletic now. Will McClay mentioned that you need a different breed of player now. Somebody that can cover, somebody that can tackle, somebody with speed. That's where the league is at now. These offenses are very prolific now, and if you stay stuck in the 2010s, this team, the NFL is not what it was in 2010. You know what I mean? It's a lot more explosive, more prolific. So you got to answer those offenses by having a prolific defense with speed, power, this sort of thing. And I think that's what you get from this draft class. You're going from the dark age and get a little bit more into the modern. You know what I mean, Foots?
Think about, I want everybody to go back to the Skins game where literally one player beat us in Antonio Gibson. I went to the flats, Logan Thomas, finding wherever Jalen Smith was at, that's where they attacked. You can't do that now. And that's the beauty of it all. I think we had the best draft in the NFC East. I really do.
Yeah.
And it'll show. It'll show.
I firmly believe it'll show too. You know what I mean? This is not just us talking. It really is. You cannot get any worse than last year. It can only go up. It can only go up. And it is going to be a young defense. So there will be some. They won't be perfect, but it will be better than last year. Can guarantee that.
And Joe, so Mojo says, "Thanks for the stream, bruh. Man, bruh, I needed it. I was bugging out for a hot minute. I get it. People are not happy about this draft, and I don't care. I'm gonna stand tall, and if it's not good, come find this video 4 years from now, and I'll admit I was wrong. But I'm not gonna listen to pundits who they don't really even have much more. Like there are certain draft guys who I go to. Daniel Jeremiah, Dane Brugler are the top of the top for me. They're really good. They're really sharp. Mike Mayock was one of those people too. His drafts have been kind of goofy in Oakland or in Las Vegas.
Yeah,
but the one thing I will say is, I'll just say this. Everybody falls in love with their guys, but it was very encouraging to hear Bucky Brooks say he admitted he was wrong on Micah Parsons. He admitted, and he said if the character is good, he's the best defensive player in the draft. Like that's Bucky Brooks now. He's been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, Bucky Brooks, Charles Davis, those guys, they're really connected to the college game, and they really know these players in and out. Those are my two guys, Bucky Brooks and Charles Davis. I really like their analysis of the young players coming into the league.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm really excited.
Stuart Crowder, this draft is a statement that the Jason Garrett era is over. Keep trending up, Dallas. Indeed. It sure is, man. That's what we want. That's what we need. Donnell Jenkins in the house. Thank you, bro. You're always pulling up, man. Thanks for tapping in. Does the draft put Neal at strong safety? That's a good question, Foots. What do you think about that one?
I think you have to let it play out.
Yeah.
I think this draft just pushes Jalen Smith off the team.
It very well could.
Yeah, I don't think it for sure puts Neal at safety. I think LV will stay in the middle. I think Jabril Cox will start off as a special team. Well, you know what? I don't know. I don't know. That's a great question, Donnell. Like it could.
It's a good insurance. Now it kind of turns into an insurance policy. Like, okay, if you need to, he can go over there. You got Parsons who can, they can use him at Sam. He can come off and give you pass rush, right? So there's going to be packages that probably, right?
There you go. You can. There's a million ways to skin a cat. I like what somebody saying Quinn said Neal is that linebacker. So that's what it is. I think that trying to find way. I think it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. But package wise, it'll make sense. It'll all end up playing itself out. So that just is what it is.
Great questions, guys. I think that's it for tonight's show for covering day
Joe
3.
Needs some rest, y'all, and I do too. And I got to do another video. So Let us get some rest, and let's come back fresh and dig in on more information.
Yeah, we'll definitely be back. I'll probably take the rest of the weekend off. I'll definitely follow up on the undrafted guys. Just a quick hit on that. But look for
I'll be
some
looking
more
out
content.
for it. So you do that. You do a great job with the undrafted. I don't. Foots is not going to touch the undrafted free agents. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah,
but Joe does a great job.
I might touch them, but it's not. I'm not gonna break my back over those guys. But we will discuss it a little bit. But
they don't make the team.
Yeah.
History is showing
thank you for joining the stream here, checking out day 3, the final day of the NFL draft, going over these prospects. Improving the defense is what we wanted. We got it. Now we just need to install it, and the road to 6, as they say.
Foots, don't overreact, y'all.
Yeah, don't overreact. Foots, where can they find you if they haven't already, my brother?
Cowboys Nation TV, Foots the King on Twitter. Let's argue on Twitter, whatever y'all want to do. I'm just gonna keep saying, don't overreact.
Yeah, definitely. That's the word of the day. Don't overreact. Don't throw dirt on this draft class. I think there's a lot of positives in here. You just have to go look for it. Move on from your pet cats and come back to the middle here with us. And let's break down our current draft class. You know what I mean? Let's go.
Let's do it, buddy.
Let's get it. All right, Foots, that's all we have. We will catch you guys for the next one. Peace, everybody.